Hi guys, we're now in the improve phase and thank you for staying with me. We've done the define, measure, and analyze, and now we are in the proof, which to my point of view is the easiest among the five phases because here we've already uh, undergone the root cause analysis phase, and all we have to do now is to apply our experiences, collaborate, and monitor the outputs once we implement the action plans. So hopefully you're enjoying, and in this particular phase, uh, it will be a very relaxed workshop. Normally, when I conduct workshops face to face, this is the time that we celebrate. I bring coffee, donuts, so that the participants will actually enjoy. This is actually the time for the trainees to enjoy the workshop. This is the time that they've gained some knowledge already, right? So this is the time that they can show off. This is the time that they can really, really speak up, especially in formulating action plans. So again, when we were in Define, I told you that we will not be defining, or I will not be defining Six Sigma or Lean, and it will be up to you for you to formulate your own definition based on your current understanding. So let's keep it that way, because what's important here, as I mentioned, as I keep on mentioning, that if I bombard you with technical definitions, technical stuff, a lot of statistics, you will forget 99% of those and only recall probably 1%, at the most 10%, which is normal. Uh, what's important now, guys, is to use this first step for you to design your own learning agenda. You need to have a mentor who will care for you, who will nurture you, and who will guide you, because definitely once you gain additional knowledge, there will be more confusion, which is good. There will be more questions, which is better. And those are what I call challenges that you need to embrace, because those things are your stepstones uh, to become an expert in this particular discipline. Because, guys, in Six Sigma, we do not cure just the symptoms, but we are curing the disease. It is not right just to do a project just for the sake of being certified, or just for the sake of gaining some momentum. Six Sigma is about creating a culture where everyone has a role to play. And as yellow belts, you already learned in our analyze what your role will be once you're done with the workshop, and when you're in the field in operations. Use your knowledge in recommending possible next steps to your green belt, to the black belt, or sometimes, and probably most of the time, the mere identification of a bottleneck, the mere identification of a potential client escalation is already a great achievement by a yellow belt. Because what you're doing now is you are preventing a disastrous event. that may happen to your account, to your process, etc. So you are probably the most important part of the organization now, because you are the first line of defense. You detect the flaws, you predict what might happen if we don't do this, or if we keep doing our if we keep implementing our bad processes, then this is what will happen in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months from now. And and by the time, it will be too late. you the client will escalate you, and uh, there will be micromanaging that can happen, which people won't like. And when that happens, attrition will go up. The clients will be dissatisfied, because when agents resign, definitely you will hire new agents. So you're back to square one in terms of expertise on the process. That's why it's really very important that we have yellow belts like you, because you will predict what can go wrong. Remember, I gave you an overview of the failure modes and effects analysis, or FMEA. Use that. That's a very uh, logical tool that can help you, that can guide you, and once you transmit that to the black belt, he or she will know how to polish that and implement the action plans when you see that RPNs that have a value of 120 and above. So you're on track, relax, sip coffee from time to time, and I hope uh, it's getting exciting and you remain interested in learning. So as I mentioned, this will be the easiest part. So I'm showing you a slide right now, which shows three steps. Actually, two steps only, because the first one, you already have it. So you just determine from analyze what the root causes are. So an example here of an obvious root cause from our analyze workshop, wherein there was no documentation being maintained for downtime, which is preventing us from analyzing the impact of downtime on the agent's phone time, ergo impacting service level. So we actually do not know whether we had a lot of downtime that's significantly affecting the agent's phone time, right? And again, since we do not have usable data, then it is a violation of QCA. So again, that's very critical in the process, because data is sacrosanct. We need to have data that is usable, aside of course from being uh, uh, having integrity, right? And because again, the purpose of this is for this data to be used in data-based decision making, to 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 partner with the process door approach, like the Gemba, in really deep diving into the process to really know what's causing the impact of what we do towards the experience of the clients, of the customers, right? So here, after after determining the root cause, and I'm showing you only one, then you need to create a plan. And I'm calling it an agile plan. So to simplify, so let's say you have an action plan, and after implementing it for a few days, for a few weeks, you notice that it's not working. Then maybe you need to change your approach, go back to the drawing board, and implement a new one. Cut your losses. Pull the plug. Experiment, fail early, and then create an action plan until such time that you really hit the mark. Uh, because sometimes the fault of projects done the conventional way is that they stick to an action plan even though it's not really effective. But being agile, using trial and learning, it will give you the power to really implement what will be effective to really resolve the problem. So once you have that agile plan, it's now time for the collaboration. So the green belt, the black belt must now be uh, uh, activated to create an operational strategy. So you have you learn from the action plans, which is working, which is not working, put that into a document like an SOP, standard operating procedure, and operationalize it. That's one. Another thing is the yellow belts should now have a rigor of collecting data, analyzing data, and giving recommendations. And of course, the leadership has to support that. It has to be part of the daily stand-up call. It has to be part of the weekly review. And it has to be consistent. It has to be a program, right? Because if there is none, again, as I mentioned, if there is no leadership support, then the yellow belts will be demotivated. So when data collection stops, when the analysis stops, then you're back to your old self. That's why it's really very important to operationalize it, institutionalize it, to be part of your strategic direction, right? So, I already mentioned what is an agile plan. I'm showing you a slide. I hope you are uh, taking screenshots. So, this is what an agile plan is. So again, assign small tasks that can be implemented immediately. Fail early, do trial and learning, and implement a continuous infinite improvement program. Use Kaizen, use rapid improvement events, meaning if there's a problem, everyone must take part. Uh, put yourself in a room, and sometimes what we do is we don't go out in the room unless there is a solution that is agreed upon. So that's what a Kaizen or rapid improvement event is all about. And what is operationalizing the solutions? Again, it is implementing a continuous improvement program within the operations. So black belts normally oversee that. The yellow belts, green belts, and everyone continuously gather ideas. It's not seasonal. It has to happen daily. And there has to be a weekly review, and maybe you can add up putting up an idea generation program for automation opportunities so that the operation manager and someone who is above the operations manager can use that to commercialize, uh, to sell to the clients for additional revenue. And there must also be like a regular meeting with finance so that the benefits that has been realized will be credited uh, to you, to your account. Because it could be a hard savings wherein there is an impact on the top line or bottom line. Like for example, if you implemented a project and it reduced AHT. So therefore, theoretically, you need lesser agents to handle the volume, right? And you can now use the the existing agents to handle other lines of businesses you don't need to hire. So that is savings, which will improve your EBIT, right? Or your margin, or net income. And that will be reflected in the profit and loss statement. So that is hard savings. Sometimes projects will not have that kind of savings, but may result to better employee engagement. Uh, Sometimes it will re- uh, reduce defects on the process, but may not be quantifiable enough to impact the P&L, and that is called soft savings, right? So that's something you probably. So try to research on that, and you can consult me definitely if you have questions on it. So now I'm showing you some templates to be used to write those things that I just mentioned. So you can take a look. These are templates that are tried and tested. So the first one above is just merely shows the root cause, the action plans, the owner of the action plan, and the timeline. And you can also put a remark section there. It is also important that you create a RACI or RACI uh, uh, template, that's the one that's shown below, wherein you will identify the person who is responsible for the task and the overall person accountable in making sure that everything will be implemented as planned. And of course, there will be people to be consulted and stakeholders to be informed. If you notice, I placed there a visual board, and we sometimes we use that to showcase what I've been done so far. That's good as well, especially during client visit and for everyone to see what's happening in operations. It actually motivate people, right? So that's the improve phase in a nutshell. And what's important here, guys, is again, be agile in your action plans. Meaning, you need to have, or not only you, but everyone must be involved in implementing the action plans. And if you detect that it is not uh, creating the impact that you wanted, that you desire to solve your problem, then you need to be agile and create another set of action plans. Trial and learning until you come up with the proper solution, and then create an SOP, operationalize it. But then it doesn't stop there. As I mentioned, there should always be a continuous improvement rigor within operations. So that's the improve phase. So happy learning. Again, consult me for free if you need to. Happy learning.